Oh, hello there and welcome to the channel, and in this video we are going to be looking at the exotic garden jobs that I'm going to have to do for October, maybe November. It really does feel like the calm before the storm, because I'm seeing a lot of work that needs to be done. Some of it may well be relevant to you. Hopefully it is, because then it means that you can get these jobs done in a timely fashion, save you a load of work in the spring, and give you far better displays if you can get these done right. So we'll take a look around, see what needs to be done. I'll explain exactly what I'm going to do. Exactly what I'm supposed to do. Maybe not, I'll get it done, but it depends how much I get nagged by Lorna. So this is the trade-off when you decide that you want to have an exotic garden. These plants are absolutely gorgeous during the main part of the year, and then the downside is that a lot of this stuff, it can't stay outside, it won't survive our winters. So something's got to be done, it's got to be brought under protection in order to keep it around for the following spring. So one of the first jobs is to do this. I need to sort that greenhouse. I need to get in there, take everything out, clean it, remove anything I don't need, and create space so I can put a lot of these plants. And be honest with you, not everything's going to fit in there, and even if it did, it probably still wouldn't survive in there over the winter. So we'll be very, very careful what plants we move, where we're going to put them, and how we're going to look after them. So we'll just talk about that bit now. Alright, we've got a Strelitzia here. That's Strelitzia regina, bird of paradise plant. Now, absolutely fine. Do you know what? There are parts of the country, I'm in the UK, you can tell by my freaky accent, there are parts in the UK we can actually grow these outside. We went down to Cornwall earlier this year, went to Tree Bar Gardens. That's a nice one, and I tell you what, I've got a video on that, that'll be coming out soon. And Tresco Gardens as well. Both of those places had bird of paradise plants outside all year round, and they will take quite cold temperatures, and they'll be fine so long as you can keep the soil pretty much on the dry side. So if you can get that drainage right, keep the rain off it, and keep it in a mild position, for example against a south facing wall under the eaves, there's a good chance you're going to keep these outside. But I'm not going to, because you know what, a couple of years ago I had these put out, its first lot of flowering spikes, and that was the year we had down to -7, -8 degrees. It was too cold for them, and those flower spikes got killed off. A lot of the plant got killed off, but we brought it back so that it will start off in the greenhouse. And but if temperatures do get too cold, that'll be brought into the conservatory. Next week we've got the Mayer's variety lemon, hardy lemon. Again, that was out in the ground when we had that really, really cold temperature. It had protection on it, got really damaged, had to cut a lot of the old wood out. It bounced back, but it's still in shock, still no flowers, no fruits, because it's trying to keep those energy reserves inside it. Again, that'll go into the greenhouse, probably just stay in the greenhouse. I don't think I'll do anything else with that. Let's have a look at what else I've got to do. This actinidia, it hasn't performed very well. It's in a pot rather than in the ground, and I knew it had to go into the ground properly. So this year it's going to come out of the pot. I'm going to put it in the front garden where it is in the ground and against a sunny wall. So that's one little job's got to be done. This is a cactus display that we put into the town show recently, and we left that there. Flipping heck. And somebody's going to have to come out and be repotted and grow them on for next season. But it does look very nice, but it just won't survive like this. It's all got to come out. You know, I do love these. Look at that. Now, a lot of the cacti we have will actually survive quite happily over winter in the greenhouse, and it can get really, really cold. But because it's in the greenhouse, it means it's going to be kept very dry. So things like this could stay there. But when it's as nice as this, I'm just not going to risk it. Just not going to risk anything like this. So things like this will go indoors. Bloody hell, did I win that one? No, I did. Keep winning. This planted bowl, I mean, as low as it looks, it will going to have to come apart at some point, partly because there's some annuals in there, there's some stuff that's quite tender, so there's fuchsia thalia, that won't survive outside and probably won't even survive in the greenhouse, but I'm going to take it out, put it on, put it in the greenhouse for now, and if it gets really cold, bring it in, put it back out. It's an absolute faff. And, oh, did I win? I won that one too. The aeoniums all have to come in. It'll be too cold in the greenhouse irrespective, so that's got to come indoors. My lazy butt flipping cycad, that's also going to come indoors. It could stay in the greenhouse, but the thing is, all the oh dear, bit of turning on that leaf. All the foliage looks fantastic, and if I leave it in the greenhouse, it gets really, really cold. Then I can get some leaf damage. If I leave it out, it will survive, but it's going to be in shocking conditions. I don't want that. So again, it's another plant I'll bring indoors. But look at that, never actually put out its centre leaves this year. So lazy. My lovely summer pot display looks really tired, so it all needs picking through and throwing away, doing something to it anyway. At some point we're going to have to take all the leaves off. As soon as we start getting some frost, all the leaves come off, protection goes on. All the strelitzias that are in pots, which is all of them, if it's not a Regina bird of paradise, then all these are going to have to come indoors. The Brugmansia, do you know what? I'm going to leave this out. I'm going to put down some bark chips to give it some protection at the roots, but that's going to kind of stay there. Oh, flipping out! I'll do a separate video. In fact, I've already done the video about what I'm going to do with this tree fern. So when it comes out, I'll put the link in the bottom. I'll put a thumbnail there. You can't click on the thumbnail because there'll be no link to it, because that is not how YouTube works. You've got to go down into the description and find that link. But don't do it yet. Do it later. I mean, I've still got a few weeks of good growth on this Tetrapanax here, but it just grows so fast. It has this innate ability to shade out other plants. It's like it knows they're there and sticks its elbows and tries to cover it to get all the light. Check this out. Once again, it's completely covered the Canamusfolia. So for like the third time this year, I'm going to have to start taking off some of these leaves so the light can still get in there. And still got, this has done surprisingly well because I've done nothing with it. I've still got this Monstera deliciosa. It's got some nice fenestration in the leaf, which is like the gaps in the leaf. But again, we did have a couple of these left by that side because someone told me, I'm looking at you, James Wong, flipping idiot, said that these are a lot cold hardier than they are. No, they're not. They're as cold hardy as I thought, and they didn't survive. So these are going to have to come indoors. I can't leave them outside. Now, I don't mind a passion flower. I mean, that is really lovely. But the problem is, and I didn't buy this, it's just turned up. And I've got passion flowers coming up as seedlings, flipping everywhere. I mean, I'm forever pulling them out. I didn't put the seeds in. I don't know where the seeds have come from. I don't know if there's someone near me who's got them and the birds are eating the fruit. We've got no fruit on that. And it is fruiting time. But this relates to a greater issue. Keep weeding. Don't stop weeding because you're not using the garden so much. If you leave these weeds lying around this time of year, it's still warm enough for them to produce blooms and flowers and seeds and chuck their seeds everywhere. So you've got to keep on it all the time. There shouldn't be an awful lot around. Just do your weeding, just get it over with. It shouldn't take too long, but it'll save you a lot of issues in the spring, because come the spring, flipping it's going to be an absolute bloodbath of weeds. Nobody wants to see that, do they? My single brave stem of a Hedychium coccineum, so sad, hasn't flowered, hasn't produced any more leaf stems, and we've had this in there for 3 years. It's just not coping with the winter. So what I'm going to do this year is I'm going to, after the first frost, once all this has been damaged, I'm going to lift up the roots. I'm going to put it on, put it in the greenhouse, and I'm going to hothouse that in the spring. Hopefully in the spring I'll get a lot more shoots coming out and possibly get some blooms on it next year. This dahlia has been a bit of a problem because it just produces masses and masses of dense foliage, and what it's done is shaded out a lot of the plants in this area. So when this dies back, I'm going to have to lift it and move it, put it somewhere else. So whether it'll stay in this garden, not too sure, but I need the light getting to this area because I've got some really lovely plants that are at the base. Let me show you what they look like after a year of being squashed by this flipping monster. This is a Schizo stylis, commonly known as a river lily, and that should be in full bloom, and it's not. It's just blink crap. And this is a fancy Nyphophia form, which again, I mean, you can see, look, I've taken off a lot of stems that were covering it, but it's not really recovering. It will come back next year, but this year's been ruined. So you're a bad boy, and you've got to go. Now, my lovely Agave Americana, or commonly known as a century plant, which is one of the key features in this garden, it will be as it gets bigger. It has put on a little bit of size this year. It's been a bit slow, but the trouble is this means that I need to clear some of the plants that are growing around it to give it the space. So I'm going to have to lift and move. We won't be putting a pot there anymore. Might need to move that Callus Demon. I might need to move this Euphorbia, but it's got to have its space. I don't want it overcrowded. I want to be able to sit, and I want it to look amazing. So a bit of movement around to be done here. And this sort of selected dahlia seedling that we grew a couple of years back. Again, it does look lovely, but that's not in the right place. I'm going to move that because it's sort of blocking the view out to the field. We do like to see the field. We've got some really, see, we've got that lovely ginger there. I don't want to miss that when it's in flower because this stupid thing's in the way. So I want to see that. I don't want to see this. So with regards to some of these plants I'm going to move in the garden, I just need to make sure that I'm aware of where the spaces are in the garden, so that when everything dies back, I know where they're going to go. So I need to put some markers in the ground. There are still some gaps, and that's quite an important job. So that's not the only one I've got to move. I've got to move another one as well. Hold on. Now this pathetic excuse of a plant here used to be a really, really impressive specimen and a key plant in this border, but it didn't like the cold in the last 2 years, and it's been hit severely by slug damage when it sprouts in the spring. So this year, like that Hedychium, Coccinum, I'm going to wait for it to die back. I'm going to lift it up, pull it on, put it in the greenhouse, and I'm going to hot house it, get it going, get it established, and then bring it back out, and hopefully I'll get another big display. But this is all I've got this year. It's not good at all. At least it finally flowered. That generally is the first flower it's done this year, and so that's September when that comes out, isn't it? It's only the 4th today. But honestly, what a poor display. And I've got a few plants I've got to go in. These are some rooted lumps that I took out, potted on. These have established. They might have even, have they? No, they haven't gone through the pot into the ground. But these need to go into the ground so they can establish over the spring, because when the new growth, it doesn't look brilliant now, but when this comes out, new leaf in the spring, it's like shining gold. It's an absolutely beautiful specimen, and thoroughly recommend this one. I've got a couple, so these have to go in. Now there are a few more jobs to go, but I think we're all running out of steam a bit, and probably interest. The only thing I want to think about now is more flowering plants to give me seasonal value throughout the year, because this year hasn't been so good. A lot of the plants we bought either didn't come through, flowered late, didn't give the display we wanted. So I want to look through the borders and start identifying areas which need more colour come the spring, come the summer, come the autumn. Now we've got a bit of colour over here. I tell you what, the old African marigolds have really done a good job. These have been a little bit disappointing. These are hibiscus muchachos. I mean, they survived. I mean, I'm surprised actually did flower this year, but again, conditions weren't very good for them. God, my red fattious seedlings finally grew. But tell you what I'm doing this year, because this is what happened last year. It produces its seed, so you've got seeds in there. And I brought them all in last year because I thought I was going to regrow them, but I didn't like the look of them, so I threw them away. But there were areas where these seeds had gone down in the ground. I say cold temperatures last year went down to -4, and yet in the spring we've had some of these actually growing back through, so they've actually naturalised in the garden last year. So I'm going to leave all the seeds there, let them grow, and see if there's any interesting colour forms coming through. And one last thing, the old glory lily, it's come to an end. I mean, I am allowing its seeds to be produced, but I don't really need them. But they need to be dried off before they are lifted and stored over the winter. So at some point, when it looks like I've got a lot of rain, when it gets cooler, I'm going to tip the whole thing over, let that thing dry off, bring them in. But that'll be a new video. And that's it. That generally is it. I'm not going to talk anymore about it. Those are my exotic jobs for October that I need to get on with, and predominantly it's going to be clearing out that flipping greenhouse, which is I'm not looking forward to that job. Anyway, if there's anything you'd like to add, you are more than welcome to do so. Put that in the comments, and if there's any other timely autumn jobs that you think I should be looking at, or that you are looking at, then let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Anyway, before I go, one last thing to say. You know what it is. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's finish you off. Oh, start the music. Right, now, just before you go, if you want to see more content, more behind the scenes stuff, and images that I've taken of some weird freaky plants over the years, then you're in luck, because we've created an Instagram page. So you can find the link in our description, you can find the link on our main page, and if I'm clever enough I might be able to get a link somewhere up there. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you want to see more YouTube stuff, then check out this video here. That's quite a good one. And if it doesn't float your boat, then another one right there. and enjoy these while still got the strength, imagination and aptitude to make them. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.